Hi guys, Carl here, and today I want to go through this document that I came up with 2 years ago when I was doing self improvement, and I haven't updated since. But I realized that before I update this, or even if I'm not going to use it, I feel like there'll be a lot of value for people that are starting your journey, and you might be wondering, what is this? It's a kind of like a book list for me to track what book I've read and what books are good for the time that I was reading it. Like for a lot of people that are far ahead of me, a lot of these books will be a bit repetitive because a lot of the concepts you have already experienced, you already internalized into your psyche. The principles, the mindsets, the protocols, like how to save money, how to invest your money when you're young, these sort of things. And not just money, it could be getting girls, it could be psychological tricks for yourself to get to the goal that you want. Acquiring all these tools in your, I guess, your toolkit on your day-to-day life. You know that journaling helps with this, manifestation or whatever. If you do it in the right way, it can help you to align your goals towards the version that you want, the version of life that you want, the version of yourself that you want. And I make this video because I think that it'll be useful, because back then I have to one by one add this in and watch a lot of different videos. Some books that I read are not that good, like a bit of waste of a time. So before I update this, I thought it'll be helpful for you guys to have a look. And in this channel, I talk about just document my journey. And if you want to watch more edited, more scripted out videos that has more like value packed in, I guess, more efficient way of providing you with the information you want, then you can check out my main YouTube channel in the description. And I want to use this channel to provide the random values that I think is useful, but it's not as polished. I don't want to spend too much time. I just want to deliver the content that I want to talk about in the most unscripted. That's why the channel's name is called Unadulterated Cal. It's just me being no filter. So the legend all you can roughly see, but I will just go through some of the books. So first thing is Millionaire Fastlane. This book was recommended by Hamza. If you haven't read it, and you haven't read all the good Rich Dad Poor Dad, all these books, I will recommend you to go and read, because Millionaire Fastlane is a very, very good mindset book. It's less specific, but it opens up a whole world. It tells a lot of story of the author, of how he developed this mindset of treating wealth, like building wealth. So instead of like saving S&P 500 all the way, if you really want to be rich, you need to look at the world differently. And of course, if you want to stay wealthy, you have to learn how to invest and diversify your portfolio. But when you're young, when you do not have income is the thing that you need to invest money in. Invest money in yourself so you can have more income. Invest money in your business, because business is a good vehicle to provide more value whilst you not putting in the constant work that you need. You just need to build a system which requires a lot of work, and a different type of work is you require a cerebral horsepower, meaning like you need to use your brain, your intelligence worker in your business. And once you build the system, you just need to build more systems to maintain that system, if that makes sense. And things will always, like the law of I forgot what it's called, entropy. The law of entropy dictates that everything will go into chaos, everything will like deteriorate, all systems will deteriorate to some extent. So you still need to put in maybe like a few hours a week once you have built it up. But Millionaire Fastlane is a very, very good book to showcase all this. And it's a very easy read. He tells stories, he tells his experiences, which is the best way to consume. It's like reading a storybook, but you'll have a lot of aesthetic ahas. Like, aha, this makes sense. I've heard about this concept, but never thought in this way. Now you start to make the links in your head. How to win friends and influence people. I would recommend if you are currently stuck in a place that you do not know what to do. Like if you are working a job, if you are in national service in the army, I recommend you read this book and reread this book and write notes and implement action steps. Find out, you need to, as you're reading this, you need to think about how you can implement this, because this book is very, very good when you are trying to learn all these like social tools for you to use, and certain mindsets like being genuine, wanting to know someone else, asking them questions, knowing their name. Like their name is like the sweetest sound. It will capture their attention, make you more close to them. And some of the tricks, although it sound bad when I say tricks, but it helps you yourself to pay more attention to the person. It comes from an authentic core. That's the only way you can actually win someone else. If you want to do those very, very superficial tactics, it won't last in the long run. So if you are stuck and you have people around you, which most of us have, you can use this because you realize that once you make friends and once you know these tools, you unlock these tools, you're able to expand your social circle. And humans learn the fastest or have new ideas, new breakthroughs, new inspiration. Like whenever I change my group of friends or I add new people into my friend groups that are more motivated, that just have more to do, more aligned with my values in life, I realize that I've new breakthroughs. I learn how to do new things. I push myself to do harder things. My identity just elevates. The next book that I would recommend is The Way of the Superior Man. This is a book that talks about spirituality. It's more woo-woo in some sense, but I recommend everyone, every guy here, or actually female also can read this. If you're a woman that is a bit struggling with like intersexual relationship, or just in general you feel a bit misaligned with the world, with your energy, you every day just feel a bit burnt out, you feel like you're doing too much. I think this book can be a good way for you to just calm yourself down, learn about the dynamics, the energy, and able to communicate and I guess put yourself out there in the world without sacrificing who you truly are. You learn how to lean into your nature instead of going against. And whenever we talk about masculine and feminine, I know there's a lot of like preconceived notions about some masculinity is toxic, feminine is weak, but that's not true. This book will explain it in greater details with the intricacies that will develop another frame of thinking. You can start applying this to another, you can apply this to business, you can apply this to your daily world. Like for me, I've observed my bosses, my co-workers, how they work in this world. Then I realized that some of them are more feminine than masculine. And how do I play into that? And personally, I was more feminine. And once I learned what does masculinity encompass, I am able to lean into that more. And I just feel generally better. I know how to be a bit more stoic. I know how to deal with the feminine. And in this book, we talk about how masculine core is you, your goals, your character traits, and the feminine is whatever that's changing, is impermanence. And impermanence, you can observe it in your day-to-day world. The whole universe at every second now, every second my cells are changing, everything is changing. New things are unraveling, like in the timeline as we are speaking. Like currently I'm making this video, maybe like you know how Trump got shot or whatever, things are unraveling as we are going. So the world is impermanent. The only thing that is constant is your masculine core. So this book will do a way better job at explaining this, but I recommend everyone to read. The next book that I will recommend everyone to read is Think and Grow Rich, because Think and Grow Rich is a book that if you're open to spirituality, if you're somebody that you think there are something more in the world, there are like the law of universe, you feel that things don't just happen just like as it doesn't stop as science, and it's not like as far as religion, like all the deities or whatever. But you kind of want to know how can you tap into this energy? How do you align yourself with it? I know the more I explain, the more I sound like a yogic trying to like, I don't know, sell you on my yoga course or something like spiritual woo-woo stuff. But no, Think and Grow Rich is more of like you influence your subconscious mind. So we have our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our unconscious mind in psychology. Our conscious mind, as the name suggests, we are conscious of it. We are mindful of it day to day. Like for instance, if I want to pick up a phone and make a call, that's like our conscious mind. Our subconscious mind is kind of like us just instinctually open up our phone and go and scroll something. And that's aligned with our habit loops at whatever the universe. Okay, when I say universe, it's just whatever your day-to-day life pushes all these cues, all these signals to you. Like for instance, picking up your phone, tapping onto Instagram and going to scroll, that becomes your instinct because it gives you, before that you have a lot of dopamine by scrolling on it. So how this book influences you is by giving you chances and opportunities to influence that mind by speaking whatever that truly is important to you. It's a bit like a prayer in that sense. When you pray for good health, afterwards you start to realize that health is important to you. Health is truly something that you want to prioritize. And you know, in order to have good health, and once you pray for it, you start to see or take in information that has a lot of relation to health and how it applies to you. You start to do better habits. Like when you look at McDonald's and you just pray for good health. Like in this book, it's about accumulating wealth. Once you pray for accumulation of wealth, you won't be buying random Pokemon cards or some collectible that doesn't build you the wealth because it doesn't align. And you'll be more conscious, and your subconscious will be driving you towards. Your subconscious is kind of like autopilot. Once you set the destination by using the principles in Think and Grow Rich, your autopilot will bring you to the destination faster or less effortful. So, okay, of course, go read all these books. I try my best to explain what I get from these books, but there are a lot more golden nuggets scattered around the book that you can use. Some, if you do not really like, you don't think it's useful, you can just skip ahead or don't use it. Just read it out loud to practice your articulation skills, and that's it. Next time, if you remember, there are like certain chapters in this book that you want to revisit, you can always go back. Like, don't treat reading books as like you have to finish a book and get everything. Sometimes books can just be I guess, like for you to practice not just speaking, but practice not doing something highly stimulating. Just kind of like a meditation. You can align yourself, keep trying to refocus back onto the words, what you're reading, what does the author want to tell you, make notes, all this. Like, there are a lot of skills by learning how to read. Like, reading itself is a skill, but through learning how to read, you learn other skills as well that can be applied in this like age of distractions of social media, of like highly stimulating things going around, highly dopaminergic activities. Of course, it'll improve your vocab. Like, if you go back and watch, if you go to my main channel and watch the first video that I've posted, you'll realize that my articulation is worse. Of course, now it's not getting like super good in the sense because I lack the environment to do so. I still try to read out loud. I still try to consume content from elsewhere with people that can articulate their words, their sentences very, very clearly. But I'm still making the effort slowly and surely. But if you go back and watch, I mumble through my words. And it's not that it's bad because it's just habits. But if you want to make content, if you want to just present yourself to the world better, you want to present some sort of pitch, sales pitch to your partners, to your future clients, you kind of need to be able to speak clearly and have an energy that makes you have more authority so that people can trust you more. Because, like it or not, your looks is your first impression, your voice is your second impression. People kind of anchor your impressions into their mind before they listen to what you have to say. It's a priming thing, like it frames you as a person. If you are framed as somebody that is not trustable, not lacks the like you just seem not polished, people can tell that. And once people can tell that, people anchor that in their mind. Whatever you say next, no matter how good the information is, people will be like, but this guy is like this way. I shouldn't probably listen with that much attention. I shouldn't put a lot of attention to this because it might just waste my time. That's how our human psyche works. Next, some of these books I haven't really finished. I'm just been reading a bit. Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's a book that I think it'll be a bit more difficult to read, but personally, I listened to the audiobook. It talks about deep work and how you can. The difference between deep work and flow state is that deep work sometimes will get you out of the flow state. Sometimes it will be a bit more difficult. But through doing deep work, through having the environment to do so, you're able to move along in the journey. It's kind of like mastery. If you put in deep work every day and you put in like 10,000 hours over time, these two like concepts put together is how you achieve mastery through constant repetition of something. And the repetition cannot be something that you are comfortable with. You need to move out of the comfort zone. You need to be constantly, consciously improving. And that's how you grow. Like if somebody play the piano, they play the same few keys every day without mindful thinking, without mindful concentration on what they are doing, then they can't really improve. You can practice 10,000 hours of the same thing, but practice is only practice when there's some sort of like difficulty to it. And sometimes it will take you out of the flow state. You'll feel a bit difficult, but you have to refocus onto it, like meditate onto the task that you're doing. So these are some books. .com secrets are for business, people trying to make funnels. 5 a.m. Club is less of a business book. It's more of a, I would say, routine book. So people that are trying to like, you feel lost and you want a good routine. Personally, I tried whatever protocols they have added into 5 a.m. Club, like waking up the first hour of the day, split into 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. The first 60 minutes of your day, you split into 20 minutes of meditation and goal setting, like read your goals again. Then the next 20 minutes, you do some sort of activity, like you go do some push-ups, drink a lot of water. Then the last 20 minutes, you practice gratefulness, you journal. There are different ways to set the day right by doing this, but it's it's written in the narrative, okay, a story-based kind of, it's not, basically it's fiction. The stories in this book is fiction, but it is written in a way that helps you understand the causality of how waking up every day at the same time helps. And personally, I tried 5 a.m. My body chronotype, like basically naturally what time I wake up is about 8 a.m. But 5 a.m., when I tried, although I feel a bit more tired, but before the sunrise and you're already up doing like self-improvement stuff, then afterwards you work on your business, it's just insane. I love that feeling. Okay, it kind of make you feel a bit more superior than others because you wake up earlier than others and you've been doing work. But that tells a lot to your psyche. Like, I am this guy. It builds evidence. So if you're somebody trying to change and you just keep falling back to bad habits, maybe you should take a read at 5 a.m. club. Personal MBA, I will pick up soon because I'm currently is my season of life where I will focus a lot more on business. 48 Laws of Power, I finished it. I think that it's a book that is worth reading. Although it's written in a dark format, like some of the things like never, like don't trust your friend or something, keep your friends further or something. It sounds very bad, but all these are just written in a way that expose human nature, in a way that your mind capture the attention more. Like if you hear something dark, you'll stand out more. You'll be like, what the fuck is this? And that curiosity helps you to develop a better understanding of what Robert Greene is trying to tell you. And just keep in mind, I don't think there's a bad intention book or whatever. Like there's no bad books. There are no books that will lead you to become evil. You can always set the intention to use the tools you learn for greatness and apply it in somewhere where you can help people instead of harm people. So read these books with the intention in mind that you want to help yourself so that you can help other people. Help your future families first. Your current family first, then your future family, your loved ones, your friends, your partner in the future. You want to provide your future wife with a life that both of you can thrive and you guys can create a legacy, create systems in place for you to grow as persons so that you can just help the next generation live better, develop the same strong character that you have developed. 10x rule, I've listened to the audiobook. It's a good. The only takeaway I have is that if you have a goal that's bigger, there are less things that you can do to achieve that. And you'll probably, once you commit yourself to those less things, than one or two things that get you to the goal, like for instance, if I want to earn 1K a month, I can go work part-time, I can online freelance, I can start a business, I can even do something that is like not right. But if I 10x that rule to earn $10,000 a month, there's only a few things I can do that I need to focus on. And once I commit to that one or two things, I'll seek a way to do those things well. And the goal became more simple, although it's harder, but it becomes easier to reach there without the complexities. So actually save you a lot more mental bandwidth onto deciding what to do. So for instance, if you want to, how I 10x my fat loss goal was that at first I was just like trying to lose 2 kgs at a time. But I just tell myself, I want to reach 15% body fat and maintain there while staying at 88 kilograms. Of course, now I'm like I just finished a bulk. I'm currently slowly cutting. And I want to cut by 80, when I'm 88 kilograms, I'll look a certain manner. And before that, I don't have as much muscles. So if I've lost that weight and I reach that goal, it could be very easy for me to just cut to 88 and just stay skinny. Then it's very hard to know what to do next. But once I set a bigger goal, it becomes an instinctive thing. Like today, like this season of life, I'm doing business, so I don't mind cutting first. I don't mind not building a lot of muscles. I just want to stay. I still want to like keep the muscles by eating enough protein and working out consistently. But I don't need to push myself till failure in the gym. Yeah, the next season of life when I got less like opportunity to work on my business, then I'll just eat more protein, work out harder in the gym, then just spend the rest of the day active recovery, just go for walks, things like that, so that I can build muscles. So what I mean is that like what I'm trying to say, by you multiplying your goal, how ambitious you are by 10 times, it actually makes everything easier in the long run. Marketing books. I would say 80-20 Sales and Marketing is a book that is a bit more mathematical. Personally, it was harder because I'm not like trained in that way since young. So, but if you haven't read any Pareto Principle books like the 80-20 rule, I think this book is a good start. It's a bit more advanced, but I would say if you're able to finish this book and get some of the concepts in, it will help you in the long run. Then you do not need to go read other 80-20 books. So it's a more efficient way of reading 80-20. But I wouldn't recommend everyone to read. If you got other books to read, go read other books first. This book will be a good book if you want to know what the Pareto Principle is and how to use it. I'll talk about the power law, how like from, let's say like level 1 to level 10. If you want to be the top 1%, you need to reach level 10. And if you are currently at level 8, from level 8 to level 9, the power law states that it's not just one level is actually 10 times harder or 100 times harder. And from level 9 to level 100 is even harder. It's like 1,000 times harder. So it's not equal. It's not like level 1 to level 2 is the same to level 2 to level 3. It gets harder as you move towards the top 1%, based on 80-20 basically. Then 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy is damn good. Just go and read if you are trying to do business. It talks about offers, talks about how you promise a value they want to give, and you package it in a way that it aligns with it. Like the offer itself sells whatever service, whatever product, whatever results that you promise that you can give to the client or the audience or whatever. Some of the book that I'm currently reading is Hitmakers and Persuasion. Persuasion, I haven't finished, so I won't say much. But if you here are some of the books that I've saw from the internet that are like quite interesting that you can go and take a read. And there's a lot of positive reviews. They're recommended by YouTubers. They are when I research this book, I try to find those that got results to show. So some of these books, go and have a read. You can pause at any time to take down some of these books. Okay, I won't recommend The Art of Manipulation because I read the ebook and it's kind of some of their spelling, grammatical errors. Though the main concept is kind of there, but a lot of the concepts you can watch on YouTube, all the manipulation tactics or whatever. I will recommend if you are somebody that you don't have a proper direction, but you know that you want to do good in the world, then go and read. Otherwise, I won't recommend. Yeah, here are more books. Casualizing, I'm trying to read more, but it's a very heavy book. It's for human psychology and persuasion. It's mostly on how to write good copies, what to put in your advertising. It's mostly on advertising. It's to improve your conversion rate, improve your whatever. Finance book. I read Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I would say if you are somebody that's trying to work on your finance, like really this is the season of I want to improve my financial, I don't know, like you should be better financially, go and read Psychology of Money. Otherwise, finance book, I will always recommend you go and read the Millionaire Fast Lane first. Things like this will set you up for the long run. And of course, personally, I'm still trying to work on it. And I will always make an update on my progress. What has the book, the principles taught me, and how I'm using it in future videos. And subscribe if you want to learn more. Because at the end of the day, I'm still learning. Like I'm not trying to push everything that I know to you because in some sense, I've already improved a lot and I kind of have a game plan into getting to the version of myself that I desire. And if you're lost, you can listen to me. But if you already have your own plan, I'm not asking you to change your trajectory of your life to suit mine. Like, I don't think that's the right way. I feel like everybody got a different way of looking at things. But I say this because whenever I learn from different YouTubers, I get influenced a little bit. But slowly you learn that some of the influences, although it might not be exactly who you are, but going and take the action, going and read the books, going and like reflect onto those things will help you to develop yourself more. You'll find out who you are at the core. And once you align your goals and everything towards that vision, that version of you, you start to feel less effortful, you'll burn out less. And you basically with clarity, you're able to navigate. When there's like fog around you, you don't know what to do. The best way is just to take a step and then write out, maybe map out your life first. Map out, oh, this is a direction I do not want to get into. I tried to start a marketing agency 2 years ago. And I realized after a while I get burnt out. It's a business model that I did not really enjoy, selling, cold calling, all this. It's very, very mechanical. You really have to put down your head and just every day do cold calls, write copies to sell your service that you do not have 100% guarantee, but you have to somehow psych yourself. Like when you first start, the hard part is to psych yourself into thinking that you can provide a lot of value to your clients. That wasn't easy for me, so I changed the business model and I work on myself more, get more life experiences, and work on the things that are really truly important to me at this season of life. Dating books, The Game, it's a book that talks about the pickup artist world. Okay, personally, I won't recommend either of these. If you are somebody that's easily influenced, for me, I read these books when I was a bit younger just to learn more. I never applied the tactics, or maybe subconsciously I did, but now I'm slowly learning how to be more of myself, and I realize that dating, you can't really get a lot from all these dating books. The only concept you need to know is the masculine and feminine. Just go read The Way of the Superior Man and live your life as per normal. So I wouldn't recommend reading any of these unless you are bored and you want to read. I would recommend the game because it's written in a very, very interesting manner. It talks about this like nerdy bald writer, like the author is basically the person in the book, talks about how he was a scrawny little writer that do not have style or whatever. And suddenly he went into the world of pickup artists and he just get girls, just have sex, a lot of sex. It talks about like they have like forums of the pickup artists sharing their field report. Like they can open up groups, they got some way of speaking to the alpha male of the group. Like sometimes you see a group of guys and girls, there'll be one guy that stand out more, they're the alpha of the group. And certain things you can do to the group to make you stand out, to recruit them into your side, like charm everyone. It's to teach you how to charm people basically. It's not more. I feel like if you really want to date and not spend a lot of effort, the art of charming requires a lot of practice, requires conscious effort. I would rather you work on your self-esteem, work on your mental health, however. Then as you grow as a person, you become more charismatic just by being yourself, and you attract the people that likes you for you and the trajectory that you're going. Of course, don't if you're like kind of like just a gamer at home doing nothing, then the kind of person that will get attracted to you is kind of low quality as well. So your trajectory is very important as well. And the last book that I will recommend you to read, Essentialism, is on doing less things. I would say Essentialism is a good book if you are somebody that is committed to a goal and you have a very, very specific goal that you want to get to. Like let's say if you're a boxer, you want to get a boxing fight, Essentialism. Let's say you're trying to earn $10,000 a month right now. You don't mind sacrificing everything. You know that $10,000 a month, if you sacrifice your friendship, your relationship, your family, and next time you will go and pay back, but $10,000 a month is the right thing for you to do. I think Essentialism is a wonderful book. But in life, I think there are a few goals that you should be working on at the same time. Personally, as somebody that do not have results, of course, it's easy to say that. But personally, I think that Essentialism only works if it's under the same branch of like facet of life. Let's say you're working on business, you shouldn't have like a YouTube channel, then suddenly you are working on an agency. Then whilst you're working on the agency, you go do it in some sort of part-time. These three things make you money, but they are very different in nature. You should do things that complement one another, that push you towards the same direction, that one goal. And once you focus all your energy in that one goal, then it will skyrocket that growth. And I believe that you can work on that goal while working on your family. You can work on your family while having like fitness goal. It's just that you need more planning. You need to like, let's say if currently I'm on a season of business and we all know that fasting will help you to have more clarity in your brain. So just fast more, eat less. And once you eat less, you spend less mental energy on digesting, then you have more energy on working. So in that sense, your fitness goal will be to lean out first whilst working on your business. Then it complements one another. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's the best way I can put it. And yeah, these are the podcasts or YouTube channels that I would recommend if you just started trying to be, I guess, like self-improvement and everything. So I think this is the end. There's nothing else that is related to books. Maybe I can just share a bit about the current state of life I'm in. Currently, I'm in a bit of a rut again, like just because of like not enough sleep, my national service and whatever, feeling sick. My mental health is not 100%. I'm trying to like get back the mental health by like doing the right habits, meditation, sleeping at the same time every day again. Yeah, journaling more and more. But I want to remind the people watching, the future me, that if you watch back, and the me now is that just need to hang in there, persevere, try to gain clarity, journal out what you need to do, and do them. And once you do them, step by step, things will get to where you want to. Like you will get on the right path again, at the right trajectory, at the right rate of progress. And things won't go to waste. All these ruts will give you more evidence into you want this. You want a better life for you and your future family. And you will get there no matter what. You build evidence, you build self-esteem, you build discipline, you build willpower. Just hang in there. And if you needed to hear this, I guess you got lucky. Don't waste this opportunity. Go and do something. Go and live the best life that you can live. Don't waste your life on this world. So this will be the end. See you guys in the next video. It's a long one, but I hope you gain a lot of value. So goodbye.